to devour the child. Hypothecate, which means in the abstract, yet manifested in the physical. They make what you call authoritative claim on the issue of the womb. And thus, the sale, the birth certificate hypothecates present bodies, which means as we sit in the present form. The marriage certificate mars age, both the age and rage. It is actually a spell cast, because the real union between man and woman is divine. And it is a matre, which is mother, sanction, unity in nature, divine. They introduce the spell cast because it's really marriage with the I. So it's already a cast spell. And then they create certificates to devour the unborn children. And with this certificate, they hypothecate the seeds in the womb, devouring the child. Do you understand? And then for those that she has a chance to produce that they don't destroy, they create the driver's license. And that hypothecates the liberties and the movement of life capacities, your capacity to make a living to feed them children. And all the service goes back to the dragon. And this is why they maintain their secret societies. And this is why they also create the different instruments, particularly for those who are in service to Rome, to aid them in their mission to declare their vicarship or their Godhead position on the earth. And this is where it's mentioned in the book of Thessalonians, when the Christ degree says, I told you all, remember when I was yet with you, that they will declare themselves as God, sitting on the throne, claiming to be God, and you all act like you don't remember that I told you these things? This is where they take the vicarship.
So you think
on a mundane degree, on a mundane level, you go to the square and the circle and understand what is revealed to you, that it was written to prepare you to beat Goliath. That's how this book is supposed to be used. And it's totally Kabbalistic. Are we clear? That must be understood before you go into it, so don't put the people to sleep. Because the low priests have tampered with it. However, the truth is still there. You just got to know how to dig it out. Do you understand? So they don't mystify you. Now let's interchange, and keep in mind what this represents is that this is transferring in the quarter. In the upper quarter, from what? Where are you coming? From Pisces to Aquarius. So you're in this square of the ether plane. But you're in a greater circle that represents a larger clock. And so they're afraid, yet at the same time they're bold. But they know that their time is up. And so we're coming for their tail. Now you understand that both? Therefore, everything they do and every instrument that they have issued to you are designed to hypothecate. Are we clear? Now, the hypothecation is Whereas I create an instrument, and just like Dr. Nyla, got them cool kicks on. So Sis said, man, did you see them kicks that Sister got? And so I write some certificate and put a bond against her shoes and she don't know about. And then without her permission, sign her name that sounds like hers, and I put it in all caps, which creates a straw. Meanwhile, she's going about her business, and I put a lien on her, and then she starts experiencing all these shocked situations. They're called psychic attacks. Then she has to pay me so that she can continue to wear them shoes. That's hers. But yet, physically, I don't have them. But yet, spiritually, I have a claim on them related to a bondage in the physical world. I have devoured her rights and liberties. That is the serfdom that's done through these instruments, from the spirit plane brought into the physical, on the dark side of the priesthood. Are we clear? Yes. This is what you're fighting. This is what has caused your injury. Then they have the militia, the Jesuit militia, which is headed by the U.S. democracy system, to go to and fro the earth, devouring nations, to steal their resources by virtue of physical hypothecation, to maintain the fraud of the dragon, where he has not necessarily successfully completed his claim on humanity and the earth. Are we clear? Yes. And so that it doesn't appear, because they have to deceive you. So it doesn't appear that they're maintaining slavery so they can look innocent, if you get the point. This is why the rule of law, although it comes from a physical canon. You know how they say canon law? Right? Shooting situations. Right? They come from tampering with the books out of their original form, and then they come with canon law. That's the law of the popes. That is demonstrated through the skull and bones activities of undermining the Constitution, which is based in nature's law and nature's God as presented to you in the Declaration of Independence. From deists who were brought into structured government under the authority of the Moroccan Empire, bringing the Europeans into government and giving the titles of ministers plenipotentiary, namely speaking, Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, wearing their fez. And so in your spare time, you're going to do some research into their original papers, and you can see that every one of them condemned the church. Even though publicly they will teach the people that they were right-wing Christians, which they were not. And the reason that's important for you to understand, because you need to understand also why the original republic was set up by the Moors and the European sons were brought in. That's another lesson in itself. Because those European sons and daughters were running away from the tyranny of the popes of Rome in Europe, which is plaguing you today. So let's talk about these issues, and then we're going to go into our interchange. Communicate. Share information so that we can look at these instruments, and then we can look at another way to claim your estate. Are we clear? Yes. Which essentially has to be done. And I'm coming from this angle because some